everybody, my name is Mr. Bopi and welcome to Time for Talk. Today I want to talk about something that has been worrying me a little bit, to be honest. And that is multiplayer games. Now, don't get me wrong, I like myself a good multiplayer game from time to time. You and your friends team up, you go and kill some other people, because most of the time it is PvP after all. Sure, that can be fun, why the hell not, you know? I enjoy that. Fine. The thing, however, that worries me is that very often, or lately, that I've been noticing, most of these games are just multiplayer games. And I don't like that, you know? I don't like the just multiplayer faction. Because, let me put it this way. It's a multiplayer game, fine. But also, does it have a single player option? Does it have a co-op option? Or does it have an overall storyline to tell? If not, okay, just a multiplayer game, fine. Is this multiplayer game free to play, or did you have to pay money for it? Now, even if they're free to play or you paid money for it, most of the time there are microtransactions these days, which is something else that I completely hate in gaming these days. But that's a different story. Now, the reason I want to make this video is for two games. The one is Hunt Showdown and the other one is Project Resistance by Capcom. Now, Hunt Showdown. Yeah, I like the concept. You and your buddy, you team up, you go look for a bounty, you have to take it down, and in the meantime other players are trying to stop you as they have the same purpose. While all of that is happening, there's also other shit going down as you get attacked by zombies and whatnot. As I said, I like the concept. I don't like that it's just multiplayer. Project Resistance, again, very cool concept. I dig it. 4 guys against 1 bad guy. The bad guy will have to place traps, monsters, anything to try and stop the good guys from continuing and advancing to the next level. And it also has a bit of a strategy and tactical vibe to it, because you kind of have to think where you place what. I dig that, very cool. However, again, multiplayer only. Now let's have a look at 2 other games that are also multiplayer only. We've got Overwatch and Fallout 76. Now I picked these 2 because they've got a very big gaming company set behind them. Overwatch is doing, well, still doing pretty well. Fallout 76, however, had a bit of a backlash even when it got released, let's be honest. Okay, and why would this be? Fallout, yes, Fallout series.
Single player only.
You know, that's what the fan base likes, that's why they play the games. Now you take all of that away, you make it a multiplayer experience. Of course it's gonna backfire on you. Not to mention everything that went wrong, public relation wise, but that's a different story. We're here to talk about the multiplayer only experience. And you know, Overwatch, however, it's meant to be just that. It's meant to be just a multiplayer game. You and your buddies team up against others, and you try and win. That's it, you know, fair enough. Kudos to you. But they've got a big company. They've got Blizzard behind them. They've got so much money, they can keep the servers running for ages if they want. It's not the same with smaller games, smaller developers that do that. And even, you know, if they could, still, I do not support them. I do not support the idea of multiplayer only games. Sure, some games you can play single player, such as Fallout 76. You don't need other players. Overwatch as well, you can queue solo, but it still requires an online connection. Once that's gone, once the player base drops, once the servers get shut down, you got a game that you paid money for that you no longer can play. And this is why I think that multiplayer games, I'm not a fan of them. I'm not gonna support it anymore. Far from. If it does not have a single player option or a co-op option, because even if the servers are down, if it has co-op option in it, you can still somehow figure it out how to play with buddies. You know, there's a lot of ways that you can do it. If you actually need dedicated servers and more people than just your friends to play, such as with Overwatch, for instance. But you don't have a game anymore. You can't play. You'll just sit in the lobby endlessly, waiting for no one. And I think that's a very big issue, to be honest. That's not the way I want to see games go. That's not the future I see for them. But it is a future that we are currently creating, which is really unfortunate and really worries me. Now, seeing as this is a bit of a discussion series I want to create, there will be people that are against my words and people that will agree with me. And to give you an example, I actually already had a bit of a discussion about this topic not too long ago on Facebook. Now, to give you the picture before we get into the comments, this is when Showdown got released. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Okay. So I said, cool looking game, but no co-op or single player mode, only a matter of time before the game is dead and servers get shut down. Happened to so many games before, I'm not gonna waste my money. Now let's have a look at some of the comments, shall we? The game has duos, which is considered co-op, and it's a Battle Royale PvPvE game, so single player is not needed. No, okay, no, it's not a co-op game. Like he said himself, it's PvPvE, sure. Okay, fine. That's not co-op. That's not co-op games are meant to be played together. You reach a goal together. There's a story, there's an idea behind it, okay? This, a Battle Royale game or multiplayer games only in general, are not co-op games, alright? It's just the same thing over and over again. There will be different maps and different characters, sure, every game will be different. But overall the concept is the same every game you play. Okay, you basically you go in, you die or you win. Yay! Repeat. Die and win. Repeat. Die and win. Repeat. That's not co-op. That is not fucking co-op, mate. That's not fucking co-op. Far from. Another fun comment that I had was this. Most multiplayer games are designed to be multiplayer experiences. They're not omitting a single player mode to spite or scam you. Writing workable bots for a single player mode would consume a lot of development time and would probably not have a substantial impact on most players' experiences. Yeah, I can't disagree. Multiplayer games are indeed multiplayer experiences. That's kind of the concept of it. Okay, that is kind of why they created them. They create multiplayer games for people to play multiplayer, but that's it. That's it. That's exactly my issue. It's just that, okay? And then he says, they're not designed to spite or scam you. What the fuck? I mean, I'm not saying that's a scam. I am not saying that multiplayer games are a scam. I'm just saying it's a waste of fucking money because it will become a game you can no longer play in the future. This can be a year, this can be 2 years. It just depends on the player base and the company behind them. Do they have enough funds to keep supporting this game? Or will they just end it because it asks more money from them than they get back from it because no one is playing it? That's my issue. I'm not saying it's a scam. You pay for it. Okay, if you want to play it, sure, go ahead. But it will be a waste of money in the future. Writing workable bots for a single player mode would consume a lot of development time. Yes, again, true. Exactly, that is true. I agree. But I would rather wait 1 more year or 2 years for a game that I will enjoy, knowing it has single player or co-op function, and not just a multiplayer game, than to get a game that by the time that the other one in 2 years' time would be released, maybe no longer exists. I mean, some of my favorite games on the Game Boy and PlayStation 1, the graphics were complete shit back then compared to now, okay? I don't want to live in the actual game. I don't want to seem like I live in the game, you know? If the story is good, if the game is fun, that's all that matters to me. It can look as shitty as possible. If it's a good game, it's a good fucking game, okay? That's all. Now, there's one more comment which was my absolute favorite, coming from one of the supporters of multiplayer games, and that was this. LOL, who would pay for a chessboard when you can't even play by yourself? Some games are meant to be played by others. Knob. Now, this comment here, this to me is comedy gold, okay? Because it's so dumb, it's so fucking retarded that I find it hilarious. Hilarious. So let's dissect it here. Let's think this one through a bit, which he clearly didn't, by the way. He compares chessboards or board games in general. Can't play them on your own, you need someone else. True. Point well made. Bravo, well said. I couldn't disagree more. Now, when these were invented, however, online gaming didn't exist. Computers didn't exist. Now let's go the other way. Let's go ahead 100 years in the future. You've passed away, and your grandson, your grandchildren, they find your belongings from you today within the future, and they go through your stuff, and let's say they find a disc, they find a game, a PlayStation 4 game, and a PlayStation 4, it still works. Let's imagine it still works, okay, but he finds a multiplayer only game, and he can't play it, although the PlayStation works. The game doesn't, because there's no servers no more. They're gone. They're gone. Completely gone. Doesn't exist. However, he also finds a chessboard, and he picks it up, and he can actually play it with his friends. Even 200 years from now, the chessboard, they can still play it. It still works. It still works. That's the beauty of it. It still works. Imagine. What a beautiful world that is. Now I think I've made my point clear here, and I've ranted on for long enough. Like I said, some will be with me, some will be against me. Some will agree, some will disagree. And that's perfectly fine. We all have our own preferences, our own opinions. And I would love to hear them, really. So let me know in the comments down below. Let's continue the discussion further there. Because maybe you've got some statements that I didn't think of. Maybe you can change my mind. Maybe it can change yours. Who knows? That being said, that will be it for today. Thank you for watching. We will see each other in a next time to talk about a completely different issue, completely different item. And until then, however, I'll see you all online. Get it? Bye-bye.